Okay, so Texas fans, we've talked about it before. Listen, as an Oklahoma fan, I'm here talking good about your team. We're saying good things. And I think this is something that I want to dive into a little bit deeper with you guys and talk about. So jump in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's expectations are for the year of 2023 in the college football season. And really, I mean, what do you want to see out of your Longhorns? What are yours expectations? So, I've kind of thought about this a lot because, well, since Sark has been at Texas, he's been able to continue the success that many coaches at Texas are able to bring. Because, listen, your guys' program is able to bring in time and time again these extremely talented classes. And rightfully so, because Texas is the biggest brand in the state of Texas. And now that they're moving to the SEC, they are for sure the number one. So at least they have that going for you guys. At least you have that going. But when I look at Sark and I look at what he's been able to do in his time at Texas, especially on the recruiting trail, the expectations I feel like for Sark are starting to heat up. Because in your first year, you're able to secure a number 15 recruiting class overall in the country. But in 2021, you go 5-7. And for Texas fans, that can't happen again. It's inexcusable, just like Oklahoma's 6-7 season. But you look at 2022, and what did Sark do? Sark bounced back in the biggest way possible by going out there and attacking the needs of this team, especially down in the trenches. So you look at the offensive line class they signed, headlined by Devon Campbell and Kelvin Banks. My goodness. Guys, you've heard me talk about it many times on this podcast, and we're going to continue to talk about it. Texas's offensive line is just absolutely freaky and ridiculous. And I'm not saying Kyle Flood is the best developer in the country, but he might be one of the best dang recruiters. He might be one of the best dang offensive line recruiters in the country. Because I still think Bill Beatonbow has that spot in terms of development towards the NFL. Because look at what OU offensive linemen do. But Texas, y'all might be gaining a lot of ground really quickly, especially with some of the guys that you guys took out of this 2022 recruiting class. And so you follow that up with, I think after a 5-7 season, I mean, you get a little bit better at 8-5, but you still lose to Washington, a game I think Texas fans really expected to go out there and win in the Alamo Bowl. It's funny because I think y'all tweeted, or your social media account tweeted out that is your guys' second home. It's funny because I know the Cotton Bowl maybe should be that second home for you guys in the college football playoffs, but that's a story for another day. And really, you guys had a decent season. I mean, if I look at it, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 games, 5 games. All 5 of your losses were within one score. Why don't you think about that for a second? All 5 of your losses this year were in one score. Now, Alabama, I think, was the anomaly to that situation because I think Alabama was the much better team last year. That was just the most undisciplined Nick Saban team we've ever seen in our lives. But I see the 5 losses by one score less and go, if Texas fans can get at least 2 of those turned around, you are 10-3. Potentially in the Big 12 championship game. Texas fans are happy with that. And that's what I'm thinking you guys have to be able to do in 2023, coming off this insane number 3 recruiting class that you guys have. In 2023, your schedule is very favorable. Rice and Wyoming, those should be 2 easy dubs. You're probably losing to Bama and Tuscaloosa, if we're just all being honest here. But that puts you at 2-1. It's a great start to the season. Where, yeah, you got to play Baylor, at Baylor. You should be able to out-talent them, outbeat them. Kansas, well, again, you guys should be able to beat them. That puts you 4-1 going into the Red River Showdown against Oklahoma. And, I mean, it's a toss-up game. And I even said it in my prediction for Oklahoma this year. I think Texas probably wins that game. So let's say that puts you guys at 5-1 at Houston. You guys should win that one, 6-1. BYU at home, I think, is going to be the interesting one for Texas. But again, it's at home at DKR, a place where Texas plays well. You guys should be able to win it. So BYU, Kansas State, 2 more dubs. That puts you guys at 7-1. And then you got at TCU. Now, I think we circle that game and say, what does TCU look like this season? I don't know. Maybe you give that to the Texas as a loss, but I'm going to give it to you guys as a win because, again, you guys should be able to out-talent almost everybody in your schedule. At Iowa State versus Texas Tech, there just goes to win. So right there, you're looking at an 11-1. Now, let's take this back a little bit and let's talk about realistic expectations. Realistically, in the regular season, I think you guys should go at least 10-2. At least 10-2 with the Big 12 championship berth. Not saying you guys have to win the Big 12 championship. That's not, I don't think that should be the goal. The goal should be to improve on last year's success, carry that by 2 wins, get through the Quinn Ewers years, try not to play Arch this year, try to let him develop under this staff and under Quinn Ewers. Because, well, you got Quinn Ewers, and then if at the backup position, you got Malik Murphy, who I think is your guys' best quarterback, which I know some of you guys will argue with me on all day long. But I think the real expectation for the Texas Longhorns this year should be 10-2. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And yes, you very well could go 12-0 on this schedule. Your hardest game is at Alabama. That is your toughest game. But if we're trying to set you guys up for success and to not let yourselves down, I think 10-2 is an acceptable number, especially if you make it to the Big 12 championship game. Now, depending on who's there, will depend on if you guys win it. I think if Oklahoma is there and you guys beat Oklahoma in the regular season, I think you're going to see what Oklahoma has done in the past where they get the revenge in the Big 12 championship game. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. The expectations for Texas Longhorns fans, yes, they are higher. They're not unrealistic. Sark, you're in your 3rd year. You're about to go into the SEC. It's time to elevate the Texas Longhorns program to the next level. And I'm sure you guys agree with me. He's going to be in his 3rd year. I don't say you fire him. He might be on the hot seat if he does not have a good season. When I say good season, I mean 10 wins in Big 12 championship berth. But you don't want to get rid of him, especially before the year you go into the SEC. Because Sark knows what it takes to win in that conference. And Sark can get you guys there. So go ahead, guys. Jump down in the comments below. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Where do you guys think Texas is going to land at the end of the 2023 season? What are your expectations for the Texas Longhorns